Hey team, Luke at Crusader Machining. Welcome back for another great, fun, and informative video. And our toolboxes are always filled with the same type of tools that we use in a machine shop on a daily basis. But what I want to go over today is 5 tools that you might not have in your arsenal, but they can help you to do a great job in the shop. First one that I want to cover is files. But these aren't like your normal files. These are small mini files. Some people would call them needle files, Swiss file set. All as I call them is my mini file set. Big files, small files, round files. Every machine shop has them. Every toolbox should have them. But what I really think is more important and a lot more useful and not as common is these small file sets. It's a set that I got from my uncle. Love you, uncle. All sorts of different ones, but probably the ones I use the most is the smaller round file. What I found these round files most useful for when you have to file something obviously round, like these collet pads. If I've got a little bugged up section of a collet, these pads are a little bit larger, but sometimes I use them down as small as like a 1/4 inch. A bigger file is not going to go into, but these round files are great for getting into tight spots. Furthermore, on these collet pads, sometimes we get a buggered up edge. Instead of having to machine new pads, we can use these files to get into these tight spots here and just break the edge. So these smaller files do a great job where a larger one really can't get in there. Second one that I want to go over, flashlights. Lights and lights and lights. All different sizes, all different uses. When you're in a machine shop, knee deep in a setup or doing maintenance on a machine, trying to get in there to see, especially when you're my age, can be difficult. That's where the lights come in. They're very helpful. This is the one I use the most. I'm not going to shine it right at it. I lied. This is the one I use the most. I set it up to a cool mag base. We can set it up wherever we want and it totally brightens up. And then I recently got this light. Thank you, Sean, from the Practical Machinist Secret Santa. It's really cool because I can get down into different areas and look, and a magnet on top. I love it. And I have my handy dandy pocket lights that are with me. I try to all the time, but I happen to lose them very frequently. Moving on from the lights, I would like to cover shim stock and a pair of scissors, a pair of high quality scissors. These I got from my grandpa. Thank you, Gramps. I know you can hear me from up there. What you would need shim stock for? Loads of stuff. What I use it mostly for is to lift the tool just a little bit above or below center on machines that I do not have Y-axis on. I've moved the whole tool, but sometimes I'm going to show you right now, all as I do is just put it underneath the insert. This machine, I do have Y-axis, so I can adjust it. But there are machines that we have that do not have Y-axis, and for them, if we have a tool that is leaving a nipple or cutting above and or below center, I'm going to use shim stock. So I grab the insert, and this is where Grandpa's scissors come into play. The shim stock I have here now is 0.0015. Sometimes I just need to shim a couple thousandths. Give it a little mark on the outside of the insert where I'm at, roughly, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Cut my shape out. I'm going to try to match it somewhat to the insert. Good enough. So what we do in this case, and sometimes actually what I'll do is just take a little spot of grease, put it underneath so it all sits. I put my shim in the pocket, insert goes up, bumps it into the back like normal. It down. Now that tool is shimmed up. So the next tool that I want to use is more of a method or a process or a combination of tools. Brass beater bars and a brass hammer. Now, do you need a hammer that's this big? Probably not, but I made it using all manual machines, manual mill and manual lathe. Find it on my channel. It was an epic, fun build. Brass hammer, brass beater rods, and this one is dual purpose. I use it as a leverage inducer. So if I have to torque on something to pop it loose or pop it tight, that's what I use. And the reason we want brass is not only is it non-sparking, which for us it really doesn't matter, but it's non-marring. Everything inside our CNCs is steel. You do not want to bang on steel with steel. Steel hammers inside of a machine are a big no-no. Use brass. The brass will take the damage and the steel in the machine will still be in pristine condition. And one warning I would give, if you have to constantly negotiate your tools in and out, something has to be done. Either your bushings are bugged up or your tool holders themselves are bugged up. Your tools should slide in and out of your tool block easily, always. If it doesn't, fix it. Don't get in the habit of beating a tool in and then beating a tool out. The only reason I use this if I have to get the tool out. And then if my bushing doesn't slide in easily thereafter, I fix it. The last tool that I want to go over, everyone uses an adjustable. Well, I guess I shouldn't say everyone. I use an adjustable all the time, the little one. This little adjustable has made my life so easy over time. And I've had a couple people comment on some of my videos or shorts that saw this and said the value in this little wrench is huge. This one is my most valuable adjustable. I use it mostly for coolant fittings on the back of drills, on the turrets, stuff like that, or a little nut that I can't get to and I'm not sure the size that it is. This guy is great. So there you have it, guys. That is my list of 5 tools that I would say are a little bit more unique. They will make your life and your job easier. But I got one question for you. What tools would you say are more important than the normal, average, standard machinist tools that you see? What are some unique tools that you use all the time on your machines? In a machine shop or any manufacturing environment, what cool tools do you have in your toolbox that you would say are a little bit unique? If you like the video, subscribe to the channel. About 95% of the people that watch my stuff are not subscribed. I'd love it if you'd give me a subscribe, only if you find value. Give me a thumbs up and drop a comment. And more importantly, share this with someone you think that can derive value from the message. Again, this is Luke at Crusader Machining. Thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you next time.